keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, she's a real deal, keeping it real for real. Keeping it real with Wanda B. Oh, all inclusion, no confusion. He said, she said, clearing up the drama with Wanda.
Hey, it's me, Wanda B. You are tuned in to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. And it's another week. We are back. Look who I have in the house. I'm going straight to them today. I got my own certified life coach, James Bourget.
What's up? What's up?
I'm back in the building. Right. He's back in the building.
Brooklyn, I'm back on the map.
And my girl, my favorite socialite here in Chicago, in Dot.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. What y'all been up to?
Man.
Your fan club been calling me. They been like, where is your crew?
Man.
Life.
I've been trying to slim down.
I see. Y'all see half of James Bourget today. I don't know where the other half went. We got Jay. No James no more. We got Jay Bourget.
Just Jay. New name.
Looking good, looking good. Miss Socialite, where you been this weekend already? Somewhere cool, I'm sure.
I have a girl now. Tell you about that after work.
Usually that takes how you in
So we hung out at the zoo. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that works.
I don't remember the whole process. I saw you within the last 3 years.
Texted me, was like, I saw you at Brewfest. Or you got a twin because somebody was pushing a stroller. And I was like, it's my life.
Oh,
I still hang out
that.
though. We still
socialite with 3-year-olds.
She breaks down at about 8. So we try to do.
She has changed your life.
Yeah, we hung out at the zoo Friday, and yesterday we kind of just hung out at the park. That's a big thing.
I did see you on social media with a child, but I also know Nemia to be our dear Ndot to pick up babies. I've seen you with your godsons, so I thought nothing of it. So we'll have to hear this story later of how this transpired.
Where they renting babies? Are they selling babies?
Where they giving babies away?
I thought that was illegal in a few countries now.
Wait, and that's what my godson said. Mommy, isn't that illegal?
Right, that you just have a baby. We want to know. I mean, not have a baby, but acquire a 3-year-old. We definitely want to know that story. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is brought to you by D's Flat Tummy Water. Now, if you change your water, you can change your life. It's an experience. It has all natural ingredients. It's great for weight loss. It's great for dropping inches. It improves your digestive system, reduces inflammation, relieves bloating, suppresses your appetite. Oh, in this little bottle.
How does it taste?
It tastes good. It tastes good. It's definitely is a. I drink it. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. You have to give it a try. You have to give it a try. These Flat Tummy Water, you can contact 708-998-3799. 708-998-3799. It's crazy. I'm like, what does it taste like? I don't know how to give it because then it's my taste buds. To me, I like pickles, and it kind of reminds me of that. I don't know if that, but
pickle juice. I like pickle juice.
I do too. And so that's kind of what I always equated in my head. And then it says you're supposed to take an 8-ounce throughout the day. I could drink it all at one time. I sometimes have to tell myself, "Oh, you're supposed to be pacing yourself with this.
Okay,
put it down."
Okay,
I mean,
you can drink it all at one sitting, and it must be all
right. I had to tell myself, "Put it down. You're not supposed to drink this much of it." So
drinking that like it's Kool-Aid.
Right, drinking it like it's Kool-Aid.
She wants to drizzle it on her Doritos, which would be counterproductive.
Oh, that's probably good though.
I mean, pickle juice on like salt and sour.
I do that too.
What type of recipes you got?
I do that too.
The candy lady would put a little pickle juice.
I'm outside all the way, but I do put pickle. But I only started doing it as an adult. You don't put pickle juice on.
That's how they get the flavor, Lay's.
I don't eat chips right now.
Pickle flavor.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. You look like you don't eat chips.
Skins?
Pork skins.
It's protein.
He may not eat pork.
No, none.
None. So he doesn't eat pork. Okay. But you look like a man who don't eat potato chips anymore. I will say that there's definitely a look to the people who don't eat those carbs.
What kind of look is that?
Healthy. Half of themselves.
Well, you put it over your fruit. You know how you go to the
Pickle
Mexican
juice on
man
the
and they
fruit.
put the lime and
You know
stuff.
what? I need to start hanging out with you.
I'm telling you, I don't call her the socialite. She's a
I
socialite
need
with
to start hanging
food, with
out. Where
everything.
you find these people?
No,
At the little corner, like
hang out in Blue Island. They're on every
Oh,
corner
yeah.
too.
Pilsen.
Pilsen, yes, you'll find it. Again, change your water, change your life, lose inches and weight the healthy way. It's all natural. That's the beautiful thing about it is everything in here is a natural ingredient. 708-998-3799. Tell Miss Darcy I sent you.
Hey, Miss Darcy.
Hey, Miss Darcy.
Cool.
So this is also brought to you by Allstate. Whether you need auto, home, or life insurance, give Sal a call. 708. Oh, my brain. 599-5100. 708-599-5100. Okay, guys. So news. We have so many things have happened in the news since you all have been here, but we're just gonna touch on some of the things I could bring up in one week. I can't. It won't bring us all the way back to all the things we've missed, but what has been in the news. So a lot of social media, a lot of people going to social media over things that have happened to them and the response from it from people. So one is Ayesha Curry, and we know the red table talk she had and that some of the comments she made there. And then after that, she posted a video of her at a gaming place or something, and she's
like a carnival.
at a carnival with Steph, and she wins a eggplant, and she makes like a joke, like I wish I could get some of this one tonight or something to
like,
that effect of wanting some.
We won this today. I wonder if he'll let me get an eggplant tonight or something.
Okay.
Cute banter with your mate, but the problem is it was live. She was chatting or going live streaming or something like that.
Okay.
And so he didn't participate in the banter. So now people are like trying to figure out like his standpoint, but it just looked like he was just tired of playing with her.
He wasn't feeling her humor. So we're going to go into that when we come back. You've been listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com.
Oh, she's a real deal, keeping it real for real, keeping it real with Wanda B. All inclusion, no confusion. He said, she said, clearing up the drama with Wanda.
Hey, it's me, Wanda B. And we are back. See, that was a quick break. You didn't even have to go nowhere. You come back. If you went to the refrigerator, rush back. Come on, run back. I'm back. And I have an extra guest with me. Hello, Jan.
Hello.
Jan is part of the Intellectual Radio family. She has a show 6 p.m. here at Intellectual Radio, Voices of Change. She has this voice, though, that I can't even emulate.
You're just being too kind. Thank you.
I
hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah. Say that again.
Say your intro, Jan. Say how you intro your show for me.
How I intro?
Yeah, just give us a little bit of your news you can use. I'm telling you, like, give me that news.
You're listening to the Voices of Change only on Intellectual Radio, and this next segment is the news you can use.
Chill bumps. Sizzle.
All right, then.
I got chill bumps. I'm telling you, that's the news you can use. 6 p.m. on IntellectualRadio.com. Miss Jan, and Jan has let me have the pleasure of coming on her show because she said. Some days I've taken more days off in 2019 than I ever have in my little career of because I've had graduations and things come up, and Jan will let me. Sometimes I just want to hear myself talk, I think. And Janice has let me come on and be a part of
Come on. You've honored us with your presence.
Oh, how sweet is that? I'll pay you later. So, and these are some topics. What we're going to talk about dating have been some topics that Jan has brought up on her show. And I said, oh, you have to come on my show and let's talk about it. And so that is how my dear Jan decided to be a part of He Said, She Said today. And I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody who's chiming in. So we were talking, Jan, about social media and some of the things that have come up with celebrities on social media. So we brought up the incident with Ayesha and some of the things Ayesha has been saying on social media that may have people talking. And then we Ti it's come up with Ti in social media because Ti and Nimi, I'm going to let you give us the quick breakdown of what happened with Ti.
So Ti's sister died in a fatal car accident from some medical conditions leading up to it behind the wheel. So either cardiac arrest, asthma attack. We've heard various stories. So she was on life support for a week, and they finally took her off, and she died. And so now her toxicology is back, and it's come back that she did have cocaine in her system. TMZ ran a story saying that she used cocaine, and that's kind of their spin on the story was that that's why she died, is from cocaine use, and then had other things happen behind the wheel. And so now Ti has come out and is asking for a boycott of TMZ because he feels that his family is being disrespected. His sister wasn't a celebrity, and so forth and so on.
She had done a lot for the community. She
Yes.
with young girls. Was she a teacher as well?
She was a teacher.
A teacher.
Sorority.
Delta.
So he called on them direct, like, if she's ever impacted your life, if you support me, let's put TMZ out of business.
And so I didn't even know the story, honestly. I only saw T.I. first, and I was like, what is he even talking about? Because he didn't bring up what TMZ said or did.
Right.
So then I actually had to go investigate and actually find out what they said or did. So then I thought I wouldn't have even known really about. To me, he almost made it bigger.
He's grieving, and grief and public platforms don't work. He has the right to be angry that she's dead, for one, and then you go back to lifestyle choices of drug use or whatever the case is. So he's just grieving in a real public way, and somebody needs to come and take his cell phone. Like, dude, this is not the way to go.
This is not. You need some time.
I think it's a reach, though. I think she's fair game.
I think it's a stretch too. I agree with you totally, because that's TMZ's platform.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
It made public news, so
yeah.
He said though she's not a celebrity.
She is by association, just by being the sister. She is.
Well, she's on the show.
Oh, that's right, and she is on the show. That is
all
right.
The time. When he had a son, she was his primary nanny, and so she was always on the shows. That's how the public came to a point of knowing and recognizing her. So, I mean, her death made a public platform because we knew her from their little reality show.
So we have that story. We have the social media, Beyonce with the faces at the game, at the Warrior game, where I
loved all
of the Beehive and the Beehive and how the
Beehive gave.
I thought that overreact. I thought that
that's a little much.
That was a stretch.
Overkill.
That was a stretch. But that's how.
What does that mean?
No, I'm
on radio, Nemia, what's that face mean?
The woman was just in it, like, girl, after I do this,
right? And then she's leaning all over like that.
I'm making my space. And white women don't respect like body language
because she gave it.
You are like, no, move.
She gave it. She did everything she so.
She did the booty.
Yep. The shoulder.
So, like, when you come into me, you are like, you're gonna reach my butt. So that means you're on me. Move. She did all of that. Like, what more can I say besides move? She was trying to be nice.
So I heard people get mad at other people for commenting on their relationship, and you don't know why Beyonce was mad, and you all keep making, you don't know what's happening. Maybe her breath stink. You don't know why she.
Oh my gosh! Why did you go there?
You don't know why she making those faces. Then I also heard T.I. people, social media needs to mind their business. TMZ, all in these people's business. I also heard, you don't know, Ayesha Curry shouldn't put her business on social media. Some people said, why do you all keep interfering in their relationship? Stay out of Ayesha Curry's and Steph relationship. And I kind of felt like she did put it on social media. You kind of do invite people. So is that true? What do you think about that? So people, their relationships in social media. is it fair game for us to make judgments? Is it fair game for social media to be in their business when you're a celebrity?
Social media is a judge zone, period. It's not a judge-free zone. It is left up to interpretation for anybody who's looking in. So I don't really, it's fair game. Like I can put on an outfit and think I look great. And somebody might be like, oh, Nemia looks horrible in that outfit or whatever.
But if you put it on social media, is it okay then for people to tell you what they think about it?
It's valid for, okay, so now I just learned last week that you can't screenshot Facebook anymore.
What?
Since when? Since when?
Last week, I have been trying to screenshot stuff to even remember events. And I couldn't screenshot it. It says due to privacy, blah,
Wow.
blah, blah.
Phones pull out everywhere.
Right.
People all try it right now. Go try it, guys.
Now go to an event though. Or go to like someone's page.
That's Apple problems.
Okay, so we'll keep doing that on the side.
But
Go to somebody.
it's one of those things where it's a public platform, and so once you put it out into the internet,
I once posted a picture of my daughter going to prom, and a man took the picture and was sharing it. So I inboxed him. I know him just in passing. I'm part of the stepping community, and because people said, why do you have people as friends? Because we're part of the same community. And he shared the picture. I inboxed him and said, she's a minor. Can you not share her picture?
He shared the picture.
He shared her prom picture, and I went to his page to see why he shared, and the men dress were all over this picture and commenting. And he said, you put it on.
That's what people do, though. They share when you put it
You
on.
put it on the internet. And and I thought to myself, yeah, he's right. And that's when I stopped really posting pictures of my children, because I had opened her up to be. And my page is not on any form of lockdown. You know, I do know that there's privacy things that I could set up with my pictures. I do realize that, but because the type of business that I'm in, me being public is somewhat important. And so then I realized that, okay, he had some right, and he said he wouldn't take it down. And what, honestly, I could report the picture to Facebook and all that.
So what
but
did he
I
share it
stopped.
for? Was
He thought it was cute, I guess.
Did he say like it's nice, or was he?
It was more of he thought it was sexy, a sexy woman. And I guess a 17-year-old in a prom dress can. And it wasn't one of those prom dresses where your daddy wouldn't let you, because her dad is he don't play. So it wasn't one of those dresses that you go, she shouldn't have worn that. And I felt he was perverted. And so I did take him off my page and block him and all that stuff. But I did feel like he somewhat had a point that I had put her picture out there on the World Wide Web. And I now shouldn't totally be surprised when it's taken for good or bad. And I that was a lesson learned. And I was like, okay, now I don't post I'll make graduations fully clothed, and you're gonna pass around this gown, cap and gown, go right ahead. But now I don't, not even the birthdays really. Now am I really posting their pictures anymore, because I felt he had some validity to it. What do you think?
I think it's social media, so it's fair game. And it's unfortunate. Once it hits the airwaves, it is subject to how everybody else thinks. And if you can't control the way people think, you can control the content you put up there.
And that's what I could control. So that's why I couldn't be mad at it. If I put it out there, how can I totally be upset with how people react and what they do with it? Because I had control when I put it out there. And I kind of felt that Ayesha Curry was the same thing, because this guy was really mad at me that I made it. And I was actually joking. It was funny. He took it so serious.
What did you say? I missed it.
I said, if I can remember, something like she's headed to a divorce. I made a bunch of like little comments, and he was like, you don't know their relationship. And I was like, I'm only going by what I see. And and then somebody put, well, he's not hitting it because he's trying to save up for the game. And so we were all joking about that. And that.
Well, one thing I will say about her, with the eggplant coming after the Red Table Talk, she is definitely playing on everyone, the buzz about it. So it doesn't matter whether it was good or negative.
It was somehow intentional, I feel.
It was very
You think it was?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she has a cooking show coming out.
Yeah, like you're playing with an eggplant, and you were just talking about how you were unattractive. It just, and it all boiled down to sexy, sex, all of that. So she's just trying to get a buzz, but she also needs a PR person. Like, girl, I rallied behind her with the Red Table Talk. It was a very valid conversation.
I did too.
I follow another podcaster who brought up, everyone talks about Ayesha and what she said, but no one really discusses how every woman said that they were on some type of anxiety medication.
Every woman at that table said that?
Every woman at the table suffers from some type of anxiety, including Ayesha. Her mother-in-law, her sister-in-laws, and herself and even Willow talked about dealing with anxiety, and no one is talking about the mental illness that
they're talking
Black
about
women
Ayesha.
Face, but they're all about the whole.
Okay, we're gonna do a whole nother show on that because I never saw the Red Table Talk, so I can talk about it. But because I'd only seen snippets. People had never even told me the whole family was on there when she made the statement.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, well, that puts it in a different perspective when he's sitting there with his mama and his sister and his.
And people will have you believe that when she said it, everyone was in agreement. There were women who were like, no, you're beautiful. There were other women that was like, I see exactly where you're coming from. His mother even said, I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way with his daddy.
Yeah.
So cut it out.
That then changed. I still didn't watch it all because I just have a little patience for it. But so coming out with your information, celebrities, the TI, so you feel it is okay for TMZ to do this. I'm gonna what Toussaint said. He said TMZ stands for 20 mile zone. We live in a global society, and that's the frequency we pay attention to. And he said it's just mundane. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Daryl. Daryl said it might be fair game, but people should have better judgment, respect.
People should, but they don't.
Right.
Respect for the people who post, or respect in what manner?
So, for example, the guy who was on your Facebook friend list and took a picture of your child and shared it should have had more respect for you.
Right.
He didn't know me. I mean, personally, really.
He should have. He should have had more respect. You know what? This is somebody whose page I'm on. He should have had more respect for you. Should have and do. That's just two different things.
Or just for himself, especially once you let him know that this is my daughter. Like, dude, it's a child.
I was shocked he argued the point with me.
No, it's like at this point you are a pedophile. Like, it's a child.
That part shocked me.
Like, I'm with you up until like you didn't know she was not an adult.
Even though it was a prom picture, and most prom children aren't full adults.
Like, this is a little girl.
Right.
I mean,
but
chill.
And I'm one of the ones, like, I tease all my friends. If you have me following your pregnancy for 9 months,
don't say
we have the baby, and
we have the baby. Hold on, that's how she be getting babies.
We have this baby, and you're like, I'm not putting my baby on social media.
It's on.
You better send me an inbox picture or something. I have been invested in this pregnancy.
I do think that
we have the baby.
How
many kids do you have now like that?
4.
Let me tell you. I have a good probably 5 solid.
5. Okay, I was thinking 4.
A lady, it's a family values on Instagram and YouTube that I follow. She's pregnant. We're due any day. We are due any day. With baby number 3, we had a home labor that they streamed.
You felt the pain too, right?
Yes, the baby is now 2. Our youngest is 2. Auntie is invested. Like, what are we having? I need to know.
She be having Braxton Hicks with them.
Yes. Yes, gained a couple pounds.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And you also have to realize people don't have the same morals you do. So if I post something and if someone who I'm friends with look at it, they may not, they have totally different perspective than I do. So what they think is okay, I would say is out of line. So,
and that is the thing. If we as a society absolutely embrace the fact that we have just differences that are irreconcilable.
That's right.
then we'll be a little bit more careful. Like, I don't have a problem with anything Ayesha Curry has said or done.
I don't either.
Me either.
She seems like a carefree. When you got millions of dollars and free time,
I know.
you ain't got problems. You understand?
I mean,
These are the kind of problems you have.
Right.
You got. She ain't got regular folks' problems. And so regular folks with regular folks' problems are trying to judge someone who is a multi-gajillionaire who get to just chill in life.
And talk about whatever comes to her head, top her head that day.
Really but it came back to bite her with that fan that said he wanted to F her.
Did it really bite her?
Arrested. I don't know. You don't think so?
That's what she
wants,
he got
arrested.
We don't know.
So?
No, see, I can't
say
that.
Maybe you're right.
I don't know.
Was he a stalker? Why did he get arrested?
He said he was drunk. He said because he said he wanted to F her.
That's not
arrestable.
That's half the men's thought process about anybody.
He said it. He verbalized it.
So I can't say what she wanted.
I don't
because
know
again, I got thousandaire problems.
Me too.
You see what I'm saying?
I got hundredaire problems.
She got multi-millionaire problems, so we don't know what she wants.
Right. It's the context. So you do have to watch the Red Table. That was just a minor fraction of everything
said that,
and they asked her directly about groupies
and how do you handle it.
Yeah,
they asked her
so that's kind of the segue that she went into. Like, he has all of these women around him, and I used to get a little attention. Now
and I don't get
that anymore.
Like, and somebody said, why she don't get no attention? And I'm put it to you plain. She got multi-millionaire, 2-time MVP, 1-time unanimous MVP, light-skinned, pretty Ricky, the dude who changed the game, Steph Curry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shimmying after he hit a shot, Steph Curry.
Yes.
What is any other dude gonna offer her?
How can you compete? How can you even?
I never thought of it that way.
Real talk. And I'm a confident, good-looking brother. Again, 1,000. If I walked up to Ayesha standing next to Steph, I'm just gonna say what up. No, I'm gonna say what up, Steph. Yeah, I ain't even gonna pay her no attention.
Well, yeah, really.
What's the problem?
She's like Claire-esque Huxtable. Ain't nobody was looking at Claire like that because she's framed herself as this whole. She's talked about not being scantily dressed. She's talked about doing things the Christian way. They have 3 kids.
Right.
We all fell in love with the baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
We only seen her in this one. Ain't nobody
in that role.
Like that. You are Claire. Like you like Sonia.
You would still check her out again. If Ayesha Curry and Steph Curry were not together, people would be all over her.
Oh yeah. She was just.
But again, what he bringing filet mignon to the table? What you bringing?
Right.
Sizzler.
She does have a good little cooking show.
I mean, I'm just saying. So you got to understand. That's how some guys thinking about this thing. The only other person that's probably gonna step to her is LeBron, and he ain't going.
LeBron ain't going.
No, he ain't going.
About it. Nobody even looks at LeBron's wife like that.
That's right.
You never hear about she shows up. She a real sister too.
She from behind, but she behind. Some people play behind the scenes.
Nobody is out there like, check her out. They not like Gabrielle Union.
Right.
So Gabrielle puts it all out there.
Yeah,
so
all of it.
Yeah, all of it. But when his teammate was like, sheesh, when she posted a 2-piece bikini last year.
And he checked his teammate.
He checked the teammate. But she puts herself out there like that.
And you almost probably have to get the attention for you to keep thinking of me.
You want them to check you out, do a Sports Illustration.
And then you'll get all the guys.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I'm not going to jail for it. You said someone got arrested for saying he wants to effort, just saying it. No, he must have violated her space.
I don't know if he physically touched her or got close to her, but he
must have, because you can't go to jail for just thinking that. Or a lot of guys will be.
He didn't think it. He said it. He just didn't.
You can say you want to F somebody, and that's not illegal, is it?
Well, now we got to be careful.
We don't know what's illegal anymore.
Right.
They done just changed all kind of.
And they keep changing.
Well, okay, Idris Elba. I can't tell you what I'm thinking right now.
What's illegal right now? We don't know
John,
what's illegal right now. I got to go check the rule books again.
Right.
Check the rule book.
John says dating really hasn't changed. Our individual definitions of dating has changed.
What?
Daryl says
that's the topic we going into.
Right.
It.
I want my wife
to
keep
disagree?
our personal issues at home. She was wrong. John then says the general act a man and a woman pairing up, doing the getting to know you and getting to know all about you thingy remains the way it has been. And then Antoinette Hayes just tuned in, diamonds in a pot.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
We don't know that saying, Antoinette. Tell us
Please
what
tell us
diamond in the
what that
pots
means.
means.
So let me go back to the gentleman who said dating has not changed.
We're going to go into that topic, dating in 2019, and what is the difference of now and
the whole world
1999?
Changed. The whole world changed. In 1999, if I wanted a beautiful woman, I didn't have to just swipe left. I had to actually get up.
You got to swipe right.
Swipe right. Oh, see, I don't swipe.
Whatever.
Swipe I ain't got to
You
swipe.
don't like them right means you want them.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
See, I ain't swiping. So
it depends on what.
You ain't
which
gotta,
app you using?
Okay.
Which one is the swipe?
I gotta. You back then I had to get up, leave the house, put on the cologne, make sure the hair was cut, go talk to somebody. Today you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to talk. You know what? I like you. Yeah, you. Well, yep. Now we dating.
Oh,
come on
then
now.
I show up and you have a speech impediment.
Go on.
So you wrong. Oh no, you did.
Wait, Tucson brings up this point, and I think that it's a good point, and it goes in with dating too to some degree. Why is attention our most desired currency?
It ain't
attention.
Ayesha Curry saying that she wanted attention.
For the healthy soul, it's not.
For the healthy soul, it's not. But we do a lot of what we do on a day-to-day basis. It comes from the attention, not so much attention per se, but to pass some type of parameter.
I'm trying to tell you,
wash your face this morning and got a haircut. Why?
Because I look good.
Exactly.
Because I walk past my mirror. That gave
she does have a point. Oh, we all have a litmus test. I want to look decent. I don't have to look great. You know what I mean? Because you want to look.
There is some.
Because sometimes you might do that because you don't want attention. Like if I don't
sometimes
shave,
you're down. Yeah.
If I don't, then I'm gonna get the attention I don't want. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you do this stuff because it makes you feel good.
That's true.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good. And then there are others who every move they make is calculated on the attention they think they're going to get. And you know what? Those people are prime candidates to make other people rich.
Yeah. And I don't think that's the only it's the sum of some people. But true. I think we all have it to an extent. Like if I'm going out with my girls, I'm going out and I want somebody to say, you look good.
I know I have it. It ain't my main desired currency, but I do know after I had X amount of children that I went through a stage of being a size I wasn't comfortable with that made me, and I found that I kind of
shriveled up.
I didn't want to go out.
You wanted to hide. Yeah.
I didn't feel my best. I felt kind of and at one point in time, way more than my husband. I didn't want him. My husband didn't want to hear his number because I was
right because you got a little
right. And I'm like, that didn't.
Yeah.
And so it just didn't make me feel good. And I used to go somewhere and guys would go. Oh, hey, nobody was checking for me. I had an Ayesha Curry moment where it was like I wasn't getting the attention that I used to get. And I noticed after a while, in situations, I realized I would say, I didn't want to go because I couldn't think of what to wear that would make me feel good. Now, this is pre-life coaching. This is a pre-journey to wholeness center. I am talking about somebody who was in a different headspace at that time, but I recognize the headspace because I was there at one point in time. I do know I've had a whole lot so I do think differently and I know why, but I'm just going back to where I was back then.
Was it that you didn't feel good about yourself, or was it that you weren't getting the attention you thought you needed or wanted?
I know now it was because I wasn't feeling good about myself, but I equated that to that test of what then made me feel good or less about myself was part of it was kind of, I don't know. It all fed each other, I guess, to some degree to me. And because it would only reinforce me not feeling good about myself at times. So then, it then was the catalyst for me to start running hills and doing doing things that I knew me feeling good about myself was important to me. And so then that's when I was like, okay, so now, hello, Weight Watchers, hello, hello, some got to give, and it wasn't so much wanting the attention back. I knew I just wanted to feel like me again.
That's a mature perspective. I want to feel like me again. That's a real mature perspective. A lot, because what you did was you took it and went internal as opposed to external. I'm looking to get the attention from XYZ versus I want to feel like myself again. It's the reason I shed 40 pounds and still shedding. I know what I used to look like in college, and I didn't feel like myself. You see what I'm saying? And so now I'm still not there, but I'm beginning to feel like
you begin to feel like
again.
who you.
My daughter said something that I'll never forget. When I started losing the weight, I put on a cologne I hadn't wore since college. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it was because it's real old school. It was a cologne.
Miyake?
No, it's worse. It's worse.
Come on, let's guess it. Let's guess it. Polo, Giorgio, no, what's the gray flannel?
Gray flannel. Oh my gosh.
I used to love some gray flannel.
I did too.
You walk in the room with some gray flannel, you be like,
I need to go dig that one up. No, you know what she said to me?
Come on, tell us what the
You
cologne
look
was.
like my old daddy and you smell like him too.
Oh, wow.
I know. I was like,
Did you take a go get what
yeah,
you
that
want?
would have, yeah.
But if you then told that story differently versus it being about you feeling about yourself and you focus more on the attention you got when you were that size.
I did get a lot of attention that size.
See, it sounds bad, but I can get where someone is coming from.
I get it too.
I do too.
I get it too. Yeah.
So Daryl says, I think it's a problem when someone wants the attention from everybody. You'll end up confusing yourself.
Oh, that's true.
And everybody else too.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then Toussaint says women's value is based on what they look like, while men's values are based on what they have. All of that is surface, but it's also what we value. I think there's been a shift for men though too. With the
their value used to be
growing a beard now, like
eyebrows arched.
What?
I don't know. Eyebrows arched and
they cleaning them up.
Yeah,
they manscaping everywhere on their bodies now.
Listen, they are.
Daryl said cool water.
Daryl said cool water. Tell him he close.
He close.
He close.
Come on, Daryl. Come on, Daryl. Throw out that.
You know what? Let's go ahead and guess it. Whoever guesses it will get a free life coaching session.
Oh, man. He put the money on the table.
Whoever gets
you close.
to get a free life coach session. That's worth $150 an hour. Wow. Free life coach session. Yep.
And he's a real deal, I'm telling you. Okay. So you can listen.
I'm safe. Y'all never gonna guess this.
The guys will help us out.
No, the guys probably won't.
Two. Give us an
old school cologne. Ladies,
Somebody
what's the smell you used to like to smell on a guy? Old school, put them in, and you will get. You said one free life coaching session with you. And I'm telling you,
how confident he is. Y'all not gonna guess it,
but
so y'all gotta guess it.
You gotta mention to get it to Bookie. You gotta mention he said, she said, Wanda B.
And the cologne. You gotta know the name.
Well, you gotta first know the cologne to be eligible. Then somebody gonna call me and say the name of the cologne. I'm like, this is cool water. Y'all thought I was about to say it. Nope.
I'm waiting for you to say it too.
I almost did. I almost slipped.
Is that what you got?
It starts with a C.
Nope.
That's what I was saying. It starts with a C. I was just like, what's that?
Google. Okay, so we're side noting that we're talking dating and has dating changed in 2019. We went over a couple of the things in social media.
Here's another way dating changed. People don't stick it out no more.
No.
Everybody. If you go to social media right now, you will see before you get down to the bottom of your thing, you will see no less than 10 memes that say just leave.
And people responding that way. You put any top, they go, I leave him. Why you stay? Leave him.
See? Just leave.
Yeah, if we just dating, if we don't go together, if we're not in a relationship. So that's my biggest change is how we define. And
someone said that how we define dating has changed.
Yeah.
And I think
dating has progressed to a point where now we are understanding that women aren't always quote unquote looking for the commitment. We are to dating to see what we like, as men are dating to see what they like, and then relationships are totally different.
I agree. Here's another way that dating has changed. People are not interested in the person. People are interested in the destination of the ship. How fast can this get me here?
The Ring. Yesterday, I was listening to a show, and because this was kind of the point of her show, I'm going to bring it up here on IntellectualRadio.com. On her show, she talked about how the ring. What do you do to get the ring?
The
and
ring.
should you just propose? Marriage was
with the goal being just
the goal
marriage.
was marriage, and it never once did she mention like what type of person, how should your
how
relationship
compatible
be.
you are. How
It was
you,
all
the
over
ring.
getting the ring, how soon, how fast, how many months
Most
to
of these
get to the
topics
ring.
are like women. How do I make him commit? How do I get him to do this? How do I? It's nothing about like how do I make the relationship
The quality of the
How
relationship.
do I make myself more attractive? How do I make myself wife material? I've never seen a post like how do I make myself husband material? How do I get her to
No,
commit to
men
me?
don't.
Men don't.
You'll be surprised what men think. Men,
How they could be husband
how they can be
material.
husband material.
we don't. No, yes. Men don't ask it that way though.
Okay. How do I?
Men will ask it like, how do I get her to stop? How do I get her to do? Men, that and as a life coach, I know what they're trying to say.
What do you mean? I didn't.
So- her to stop.
Oftentimes men don't look at themselves and say, I am the seed bearer, I might be the issue. So as a life coach, a man will come to you and say something like, how do I get her to stop nagging? How do I get my wife to stop nagging? The real question you're asking is, how do you become a better husband?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No,
sometimes
that
I have to reinterpret that for them. So what you're asking is, how do you, or another question is, how do I understand? I'm gonna give you a secret question men ask.
Right.
When you tell them,
Almost all of them.
are you asking how to be a better husband?
Almost
or how to get her to just
all of them.
Oh, wow.
Almost all of them agree.
Now that
Here's
shocks
another
me.
question
Yeah,
that
that
men
shocks me
ask
too.
in private. And I'm telling all y'all business. All our business, I should say. Here's another question men ask in private. What really is masculine energy?
I've heard that.
You'd be surprised how many men want to know how do I know I'm in masculine energy? And then when we finish talking, most of them be like, all this time I was operating in feminine energy. And I was asking her to operate in masculine energy and vice versa. You'd be surprised how many men ask this question.
Okay, guys, this is he said, she said, and we like to bring the male and the female perspective. James, being the only male sitting here on the panel
holding it down
today,
for
has he's holding down the fort, and he has us women like,
Yeah, like
But I always like to say, and we have a group, he said, she said on Facebook. Please join the group, and throw in your comments. These are the kind of topics and conversations we have there. That I don't like to debate. When a man says this is what a man thinks, I don't like to come back and say, oh, I don't believe that, because I'm not a man. I mean, how can I honestly say that's not what you all think? So I am sitting here like, I don't believe that, but I'm going to go with it because
He's a man.
you're a man and I don't know how you guys think. So if you say that, I'm going to go with it, even though I haven't met a man yet that I think sits back and says, how can I be a better husband?
If a man is married to a woman who is not happy, believe me, he's trying to figure out how to see. Again, we ask the question differently. How can I make her happy?
Well, no. So we get it in that perspective, but like the example you gave is that she's nagging. How do I get her to shut up? And then you
flip it the meaning.
Because men don't recognize a problem until you all indicate that there's one.
Okay.
And we have a winner.
You have a winner. Okay, wait. So guys, listening on IntellectualRadio.com, the people that are listening on all our different formats of Intellectual Radio, James Borshay threw out there that if you could come up with the name of his throwback cologne, that the new sexy James Borshay is now whipping out the closet, and the baby girl says, "Daddy, you smell like my old daddy." That old daddy that I like to smell.
That one time, and she was like, "You smell like my old daddy."
You smell like my old daddy. So the winner has come out. So Stephanie Evans, hey Stephanie, she's part of our
Cynthia Bean won it.
okay, well, I'm gonna go through and just throw out all the other other things people have come up with. So Stephanie Evans said colors. I'm gonna miss some. I forgot something else. Stephanie gave out another.
Somebody said Stetson.
Stetson. I think Stephanie gave Stetson. Hello. She's also my makeup artist. Look, you got to use Stephanie.
She had all of them.
She had all of them going. But Cynthia Bean, who is the if you're our socialite for the world, Cynthia Bean is the socialite in the stepping world. Yeah. I mean, if you want to know where to go, she hits every weekend and details that in her Steppers. What's the name of it? Newsletter 311. What is the name of your stepper? You got to get the Steppers newsletter if you want to know where to step in the United States. She's the go-to person to hook up with to know all things stepping. Our dear Cynthia Bean has come out with the answer. She gets a free life coach session. And I'm telling you, Cynthia, I swear by him, there are times where I've called him and he's given me try this, do this, and has changed my life.
Wow. Because you're not repeating.
I never knew anybody would. I never thought anybody would guess it.
Really?
So
she guessed it. Congratulations, Cynthia Bean.
Wait, does the session cost more than the cologne?
Yeah.
I love our session too.
The session costs way more than the cologne. Yeah. The session is like 6 colognes.
Oh.
Yeah. No,
you said $150 value.
No. Session is about 4 colognes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guessed it, and I love that smell of that too. Right? We'll have to sniff you later. So
somebody said, "Why does cologne go out of style?" I'm not wearing that today, but somebody just said, "Why does cologne go out of style?"
Yeah, why does it? Because new ones come out and they become more popular.
Yeah,
but that one is a very popular scent. But good guess, Cynthia. Thank you. I'm telling you, gonna love him, Cynthia. I swear you will. I'm going to lay down money on a conversation with him. Will have you thinking different and being a better person. They still going for it.
Hey, I should have asked who can guess what I'm wearing today.
Steppers 411. I said 411. I had my numbers off. Cynthia Bean, her website. I'm telling you, all things stepping. She's the person you go through to. And fun lady too. Party with her, and she'll be out because she hits every club she go from club to club to club to club to club to club. Wear you out, and then we'll hit house parties all night long too at the same time. So, okay, so you ding 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 ding. We had a winner. So dating.
Hey, Daryl said if it smelled good in the 70s, it should smell good today, right? Maybe, but when your daughter be like, "You smell like my old daddy," I'm like, I don't know that that's the smell I was going for.
So true though. You can smell something and it takes you to a moment.
Yeah, man. She gave me that was probably the biggest hug I've received from my daughter.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Like
you smell like my old daddy.
That's my mama all day. I can smell her a mile away. And if I go in the room, I'm like, somebody smell like my mama.
So true. So we've been talking about dating and how has it changed, and besides the social media part of dating, Tucson said, read that. What was his response?
Because of groupthink, laugh out loud, just like relationship standards. That's why smell go out of style.
You often tell me that the group is a microcosm of how relationships are. Because when I get frustrated with the group and
Wanda be ready to shut it down.
Y'all
just don't know. Wanda be like, you know what? I like take 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me?
Listen.
Woo!
Y'all have no idea.
Boy, y'all have no idea.
Wanda has almost come shut down the whole page. Y'all better be nice. Be nice.
Well, let me tell you why. Because the group was formulated, and my whole life, I had a divorce and went through, and it was kind of wanting to know how men think, trying to heal from my relationship, have better relationships. I do know I'm the common denominator of my relationships. And so if I wanted something different, that I needed to be something different, do something different, and it would began my journey, a journey that I had already started, which is part of one factor of the divorce in the first place, but a journey I had started that just kept going along. And I do know that everything that happens to me is for this reason, has led me on these paths. And so then the group trying to hear men's perspectives on things, because I'm going to go back and tell the story from a past. Felt like I was married to somebody who didn't communicate, and I didn't know how to communicate, didn't talk, and so wanting to know how men think was so he said, she said was birth. And so it in my head had this very healthy goal in mind, is to hear each other and learn how to communicate better, to help men and women communicate better. And when it feels like that's not happening, and we just all fight and nobody's listening, and it's not doing the things that I wanted to do, I'm like, and it's that time of the month when I'm really sensitive to it. Then it all
have no idea.
Comes to a head.
It is a microcosm of relationships in the world today. Sometimes men and women get into conversations and ain't nobody listening. Everybody want to be heard and nobody's listening. But I want to commend you, because you absolutely have a heart to heal. And I don't just mean heal yourself, but to heal other people. And when she tells you all that she put this platform together to help people heal, she means it. The questions you ask in our sessions are all healing type questions that you know how refreshing it is to have someone really want to know, as opposed to, I have people who call me to vent. And that's probably the easiest $150 I've ever made, because I don't have to say nothing. I just sit there and just, you got 5 minutes left. But then you have people who call and say, how come? Or when this happened, help me understand what he meant when he did XYZ, or what she meant when she said XYZ. And when you have that, you like, oh my, that's like mute. That's almost, that's orgasmic. That is like music to my ears, because
He said orgasmic.
And I said that the voice, she's real good at throwing voices. No, but honestly, that is a different love. That's refreshing. And I see some people in the he said, she said group absolutely want to know. If a she asks, if a she asks a question to the he's, I typically say, okay, she's genuinely asking to understand a different paradigm, a different perspective. There's no wrong answer, because men are very different. So you might have a gamut of different type of answers, and vice versa. Go ahead.
I just find it funny when the question is for men, and then the women say, that's because, like, ma'am, no. Or,
Hush.
The question is for women, and they say, no, that's because.
But she don't know.
No,
Hush.
like, just sit back. I'll go in with the eyes so I can see kind of.
And you get the notifications, so you can stay up on the notifications. But I find that to be, sometimes I let it aggravate me. And I know that's something else I have to work on. In fact, that has been my next level of what I need to work on, is identifying why I let things trigger me, and why, and how to heal from that, so I don't get so upset when I see things that I don't like. So that's been a whole nother sidebar.
Can I pose a question to the he said, she said group?
Yes.
Have you ever read a post, heard the perspective of the other side, and said, I never knew that? Have you ever done that? If the answer is no, you're not listening. If you've never done that, like never said, I never knew that, you're not listening.
I'm going to actually post that in the group and see what happens. Well, they'll probably argue and fight over that. So I'm going to
and have them give the example.
Like,
when.
Remind me of this, please, because I won't remember the wording.
That'd be helpful for someone else to say, oh, I didn't from that post. And that's something else I can learn. I was in a training session not long ago, and part of the training was we had to go up, introduce ourselves, and then go back to our seats. And then a couple people were called on to ask the name of the person that you asked what their name was. And we are so overwhelmed with thoughts and just all type of things that are consuming our thoughts in the moment that we don't listen.
No.
So even when you ask someone, what is your name? We are not listening for their name.
Right.
We are just doing the formalities, thinking about what we're going to say next. Either we're thinking about saying our name back or asking them the next question, but we're not just taking it in. In fact, I saw it also on the Breakfast Club when Ava DuVernay was on there. He said, "You are so introspective. Like you really listen to what we're saying. We don't get too many guests on the show that actually like are completely invested in what we're saying." She says, "I think that's a compliment, but that's because I'm really trying to take in what you're giving me before just arguing for argument's sake," which is what we see a lot of.
That's a lack of presence. And 99.9% of the people in conversations, in relationships, are not present.
Look at media. You go out to dinner now, everybody has their phone on the table.
And I have to sometimes actively tell myself to be present in the moment of things, something good, and I'm seeing the negative in it, and have to almost tell myself, "You're right now sitting doing this, and you focusing on something, the minute bad thing."
Like, how many people go back and watch the recording? Right. You're trying to record it to post on Facebook so you can brag to people that you've been somewhere, but then you miss the whole. Put your darn phone up and enjoy the moment.
So, and thank you for the comments. I'm not going to read those here. I don't take compliments well. That's a whole nother issue. I'm working on. So
here's Tucson.
So let's keep moving on.
Listen, Tucson said, James just said, men ask him, what is masculine energy? So how does just being that gender make you the oracle? So my reply is, I ain't the oracle.
Are you the? Well, I would like to know if two think he is. I would. Do you feel like you could answer that question if someone asked you to? What is masculine energy? Don't you think you could? Don't you think you could answer that? I think you could. I think you would think you could. And let me know if that's correct or not.
So for me, I do a lot of studying. I do a lot of reading. I do a ton of reading. I probably read 2 to 3 books a month. And you'd be surprised how many people have gone before you and have figured a lot of this stuff out. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I swear by this book. If you want to understand masculine and feminine energy, one of the best books to read is The Way of the Superior Man. If you want to understand it like you've never understood it before, The Way of the Superior Man will sit you down and give you an entirely different perspective on masculine and feminine energy, to the point where you will realize, man, that you've been asking her to operate a lot of times in masculine energy. I'll give you a prime example. Masculine energy is one that it takes data, it processes the data logically, and then it spits out an action. So oftentimes, how many times do your man might show up late? He's been on time 150 straight times, right? He shows up late this one time. You get upset. And what does he say to you? But I've been on time X number of times, right? What you all don't know is what he's asking you to do is process this as in masculine energy, because masculine energy will take it and say he's been on time 150 times. This one time ain't no big deal. Feminine energy will always respond to you with the energy or the situation in that particular moment. Feminine energy responds in the moment. That's why it's like water, and it's like it constantly moves. So I tell people, feminine energy reflects you back to you in the moment.
Up here.
You trying to call in? Yeah. What I tell you? Less than 5 minutes.
So
I told you 2 was calling.
So I had to read the book because that led me to questions. And,
go ahead and ask one of them. That book will change your paradigm on masculine and feminine energy, and it will make you look as a man and be like, I've probably been operating in feminine energy more than 80% of the time.
I'm going to have to read the book too, because I feel like I may have been operating in masculine energy.
The energies have switched over and that is by design. That is a design for the energies to switch. That is a design because it throws off the love equilibrium. So you've got many women who are now operating in masculine energy, and you have many men operating in feminine energy. And I don't mean switching and wearing shirt. Not that. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about in the way we respond to information or situations.
Phone button. You're listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. And we have a caller. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
You already know who.
Right, I was about to say, we ain't got a caller. We know who this
We
is.
summoned to the radio waves of IntellectualRadio.com.
I would have won a bet. I said in less than 5 minutes, he going to be calling in.
And he will be saying, I said what I said coming up soon.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I said it. I said what I said. Go, tell us. Now, if someone asked you to, how do you explain operating in masculine energy, do you feel you could respond to that?
Come on, Oracle.
Oracle?
I absolutely do feel like I can respond to that. But I just want to say, Jay read what I said out of context.
Okay.
Paul was talking about, I think Endot said, one of the things that irritates me is when I ask a woman in a group, what happens when we do this, or what do you think when men do this, and then the other sex responds. And what I was saying was that if we don't study ourselves, we don't know. Just because we were born male or just because we were born female doesn't mean we have the answers. And I was alluding to the question that James said earlier. Men often ask him, what is masculine energy? So obviously they don't understand it. So if a woman was to respond to that because she had studied the information, she's probably more apt to answer the question.
Wait.
That was deep. Hold on a second. Whoa.
Say that again. I got to understand that.
You get some snaps on that. Whoa.
Like a real Leo today.
Whoa. Tucson. That was...
I only deal with geniuses. That's why
I actually agree with that statement. That he.
I know. I almost wanted to say it again so I can really take it in.
I don't even know what to do now.
Say that one more time for us.
Now, the next post, I'm going to remind you that you said this on June 9th, 2019.
When you remind me, be clear that I read as many books as Jane Borachet. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm not just talking outside of my neck, and that's the problem. Even when you all started the conversation earlier about why do we deal in Ayesha Curry's relationship and all that kind of stuff, it's because most of us, the vast majority of us, are operating at a very surface level. We're ignorant, and I know it sounds insulting, but it's the reality. We don't even invest in ourselves.
Right.
We don't invest in information.
We don't, and it's so readily available.
We answer questions based on social norms that are based in insanity. And then get mad when somebody says, well, no, that's wrong. That's also insanity. Right? How do you argue someone who studied and you don't go to the dentist to tell him what to do with your mouth?
Some people crazy enough to.
Yeah, but that's how we operate in a relationship. We operate, even if humanity does that. We don't study it to think we know it.
Right.
We think we know it from the relationships that we've experienced. Was also traumatized or traumatic or whatever was wrong with them.
Come on now.
They wasn't studying it either.
Nobody studied it.
And then when you get the truth, it's like, oh, that's good. I'm just BS.
Right. No, that's true though. What you saying is true. Boy, you better preach. Hold on. Where do I send the love offering?
I'll take that $2 PayPal.
All right. Come on, Pastor 2. I told that's that. He preach more than I do. That is real talk, Tucson. That's real talk.
Me and James talk offline a lot, right? But we use different language.
Right.
Y'all hear me differently than y'all hear me. But understand, we read the same book.
Right.
Man, I've been read that.
Right.
So the books that we talk about is because he's studying information. I'm also studying the information. But then everybody else responds off what their parents did or what their homie did. That ain't the information.
Or the social norm. And the social norm is trauma.
It's crazy.
Right.
It's insane.
So check this out too. Trauma becomes normal and normal becomes trauma.
Right. So everybody's aspiring to be crazy.
Right. That's exactly right.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. I guarantee it. Most of us are aspiring to be crazy. Because crazy is normal and normal is crazy now. Normal is crazy.
Normal, you look crazy.
Right.
If you have normal, you look crazy.
Proclamation of the acclamation of the
as a summation.
I'm serious.
Is the representation.
I'm looking like I can't tell you how many people I've said the response that you gave is a traumatic response. You're stuck on trauma right now. And it takes 5 sessions just to get people to identify, oh man, this is trauma.
And they bring that to relationships.
Not only bring it to relationship, they expect the relationship to operate in trauma. So they absolutely try to create trauma where there is normality. And it is the craziest thing to watch because normal is unfamiliar.
Think of how many times you've heard the statement that love is not enough.
Right.
Love is absolutely enough. It's just you don't understand love.
What it is.
That's right. That's real.
That's real.
You'll settle for gifts without love. Or you'll settle for time without love.
Or transactions.
It's a transaction. Everybody looking for a negotiation, which is why relationships don't last. So somebody's going to always be able to offer you more time or always offer you more money.
Bingo.
Offer you more gifts or more BS or more service stuff.
I just said this.
Really understood love.
Two, I just said this. I don't know if we was on camera or off. I said people are hopping from one ship to the next, looking for who can get them there to the fastest destination. Listen. Two, you are called to say what you say to your demographic of people. So I want you to keep saying it the way you say it. I'm called to say it to my demographic of people. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, y'all done got the preacher riled up. Woosah.
All right, thank you. You all check out the I said what is it? I said what I said podcast with Tucson on Fridays. And he says what he says. I think he very to the point. Hi, Joe. Tell me, James. Tell.
I'm not sure what he's saying. Tell him.
Tell him. Oh, tell him. Oh, I got it. I'm reading it. I'm sorry. I left my coolness.
He wrote it backwards.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, tell him, Joe. So and he said, Joe said, nicely laid out, Tucson.
No, he said Dr. Tucson.
Yeah,
that's right. That's prophesying. Come on, Doc. The Reverend Dr. Tucson Warner.
So when we talk about dating, and you mentioned trauma, I'm sure then that's somewhat of what people bring to the table with dating.
Yeah, they bring, but back in the day, you had a little bit more healthy relationships because crazy wasn't normalized. Now, trauma is normalized through me. So we are now watching social media and watching everybody's lives and not being able to decipher whether or not we're watching trauma or we're watching something else. It is not going through the American broadcasting. It's not, none of this stuff is filtered anymore. So the majority of what we see is totally based in trauma. It's a totally traumatic response, totally traumatic, to the point where, again, people don't even recognize what trauma is anymore because it's so infused in our culture.
I can't think of this song, but the rapper says something like he kicks her out the car, and it's just, I was like, wait a minute, he's abused her, but this is the person that he's dating. Like, this is kind of how they get down.
Yeah. And if you saw him do it on the side of the road, you wouldn't even stop. You'd be like, oh, that's just another.
Right.
But people don't, that is not healthy.
But so you feel that relationships and dating may have been healthier back then because we weren't as desensitized to things that, we're desensitized to seeing unhealthy
to an
things.
Extent, though, because in the 70s you still had massive abusing.
You did
physically abuse, and it was just shut up. You know, it wasn't a platform to speak out against domestic violence. Your old man came home, beat you up on Friday, long as he paid the bills. The rest of the week, you just took what you had to take.
But you kept that quiet. And I'm not saying that was a good thing or bad.
That's what I'm saying.
You kept that quiet.
It was one of those
because it was not normal.
Right. It wasn't normal.
It was not normal.
Okay.
And now, not only is he or she getting abused, we're singing about it.
And we're all commenting almost like it's not
glamorous
because we're overexposed.
They're holding guns up to each other's head, and we're all talking about, did you see how she did that? And or a woman beating another woman in the house, and we just talk about it like it's till the next video. We're not.
If I put up a video today, no, let me say somebody else's name. If somebody else put up a video today that said 5 ways to make $1 million in the next 12 months. And then somebody else put up a video today of two dudes who you ain't never met before fighting in the streets. Which one of them will get more hits?
We know the fight.
Fighting in the streets.
It'll have 1 million views.
Yeah.
And it'll be shared a zillion times.
It's just our culture nowadays.
The fighting women in bikinis on spring, wherever they were.
But do you think that that's been accepted as a norm in all age categories? I think
it is.
You think so?
It's a norm now.
You think a 45-year-old that's a norm for them?
Mm-hmm. Because 45 is the new 25.
I like that though. I like that concept. Oh, not mentally.
45 is the new 25.
I mean, that's what it is. 50 is the new 30.
Okay.
Not mentally, but I do like it physically.
I'm liking
we
that.
can go with that.
Sue says it's a host of reasons, but real issues is that in our community, all we had was us. Now we aspire to wealth in them and acceptance in them. That we don't actually have. And I think you were gonna say anything more.
He said we're aspiring to wealth that we don't actually have.
Oh, that we don't actually have. Yeah, and I think even more than wealth, it is them. We
have been colonized.
To be them, like you, from naming children to how we should dress, how we should speak, is all
where we should live,
their approval. And it's like, get out of here. That's why, like, you good.
Whoever controls the media controls the culture. Mm-hmm. They control the media, so they control the culture. Do you know? Well, you all know, but people didn't want to wear braids going into job interviews, and now one of them puts on braids, and now it's acceptable, and they give it a different name.
Yeah.
The African culture, and I am particularly passionate about this because my parents are native Africans. The African culture has been colonized and brought to America, has been westernized, has been brought here and is being repackaged and sold to our people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it's
crazy.
It is insane to watch.
It's like selling ice to
the Eskimo. Yeah. Here's your ice. For the low price of $5.99, and you buy it.
Yeah, but wasn't there logical reasons why 10 years ago they wouldn't want to wear braids to a corporate interview? Mm-hmm. There were solid reasons. I mean, now things have changed because of that, but I don't think necessarily that they didn't do it because they had a self-hate thing going on. I think it's because they probably wanted the job. And 10 years ago, corporations weren't open to hospitality. You couldn't even wear braids and locks and stuff like that.
True.
Well, even 5 years ago. So
but then that goes back to the framework of how our culture was looked at. It was packaged
exactly
as everything but professional, everything but intelligent. You can't be intelligent with locks. You can't be intelligent with French braids. You can't have natural hair because that looks like you don't care about your self grooming. But your hair is naturally grown out your head, and there's not a problem with it. So it's all about
the
framework.
And to his point, as soon as they start doing it, now it's embraced. There's been legal laws and legislation, and now we wear hair anyway.
Legislation.
How you gonna pass a law to tell me I can wear natural hair?
Yeah. Because there's
now time out.
I know, but how could you?
Do you hear how asinine that sounds?
I know. How could you tell me I can't wear what grows?
Anyway, how can you pass a law to tell me that I can now wear what God naturally put in my head?
Thank you very much. No.
The way it comes out of my head.
Right.
So Susan just said the same thing. Black women get butt injections to look like white women, imitating black women.
Ain't that
wait.
No. Say that again. No, that's true.
They are.
Say that
again.
Black
women are getting butt injections to look like white women who are imitating black women with their.
Oh, okay.
Everybody wants a Kardashian butt, and she got based on black
injection.
Women.
So get it bigger. You want it? Oh, jeez.
That is true.
That's true.
We are talking about how has dating changed, and we've been going about all different kinds of relationships, just relationships in general, how they've changed from in the past to 2019 here on IntellectualRadio.com. He said, she said. And we are also bringing in some of the comments of the people on Facebook and what they're saying. And we've had a caller, and you're always welcome to call in as well, 708-223-8953. So John says, y'all are over analyzing human evolution. Every generation thinks they're doing something fully different from the previous one, but in fact, they're not. They're just replaying the same scenes with different actors, sometimes at a faster pace and other times slower. Even though we have faster means of communication, it does mean that it does not mean that they are better. None beats the face to fact interactions we've been robbed of as a result of our faster modes of communication. When all is said and done, we ultimately return to the relationship system innate in us, one on one, touch, smell, sight, and feel. It always will be that way. So he's saying nothing's new. Social media
And
really
I'm telling
hasn't.
him he's wrong.
What are you currently dating? Is the question.
Do you have children?
And it's no shade. It's like, are you married or are you out?
I would like to know that because I do feel.
Yeah.
My kids, I have a 25-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old. They can spend days in the house and not leave the house and have connected with their friends way more than me, who have left the house every day on their PS4, their FaceTime, their this time, their that time. It is very different. Yeah. Very different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, I think that media has played a tremendous role in dating and how we approach dating. I know we've talked about it deeper, but even just online dating, it's totally different interaction with me meeting someone online and versus how I interact with someone that I met at Target, because I love Target. So that's where he'll be.
So if you're looking for NDOT,
Target.
She's at Target.
Okay.
Right.
Just pull your cart up next to hers.
Jackson is the best.
Yep, that's right. Racine is that. You're right.
I'm gonna go to the one on Manhattan today, but our interactions are going to be totally different. When I talk to my girlfriends about online dating, they're like, I don't want to give anybody my number right away. I don't know him. He may be a creep. But if you met him at Target, he could still be a serial killer and you gave him your number that day. Doesn't mean that you have to invite him to your house. Doesn't mean that he has to have your personal information. It's just how we're interacting.
But does that prove John's point that that's the same scenario that hasn't changed? A creep could be a creep whether you meet them there or online, and you give your number quickly. So is that the same thing, just repackaged?
I think it's not, and here's why. Because online you have the option of still communicating with the person, still interact. You get to replay Target 50 times before you give the person your number if you wanted to, by your inboxing. So you get to have you get to go to Target every day online and then decide, okay, I think I'm going to give you my number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You get to virtually have the Target experience as many times as you want.
And I do every night. Oh my God. I swear, every night I go on Target online, like, I'm put this on my card, put this on my card.
My gosh,
take that out my card.
Oh, wow.
It's bad. It's bad.
So Tucson said the pyramid still can't be explained. Are we really evolving?
Yes, and.
Huh?
Yes, we are evolving, and I don't know that we're evolving to something
world
better.
Is evolving. Humans are going to always be humans. Right. We'll always be running around human things up. But
the human is evolving. The stuff we couldn't do 20 years ago is now normal. Like, I've watched people jump and dunk and stuff like they were video games.
And they're human beings.
And they're humans now doing this stuff.
And I think we'll always still have the unexplained, even as we evolve. I still don't understand babies and cancer and, just things that happen in life that you go, why? Why is that? And Raylon said, I love my natural, beautiful Black women that love herself as she is. And that's sweet.
You know what I can't stand with the new paradigm is the texting versus talking.
Oh,
I don't mind texting, it's something quick, meet you at 5, but to have a conversation, texting. I mean, I remember back in the day, you may be on the phone so long, you're like almost not
asleep.
You're almost falling asleep.
You hang up. No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Yeah.
Okay, this 1, 2, 3.
Hang up my phone.
What happened to that? Now it's this texting. It's like, you know what? You can text me for something quick, but don't text me. Don't text the conversation. Number one, I lose the translation sometimes. I'm not really sure with all these abbreviations what you're trying to say.
And I don't feel connected either.
No, I don't either. Some people do.
Voice.
I want to hear a voice.
One is because
come on now,
someone did have a speech impediment, and so
but
I was like, girl, I can't. No, and I'm not lying. He did have a speech impediment, and I was like, maybe I can work with, and I could not. So I need to.
You were shallow like that.
So that
no, I mean, relationship. It was like what he wanted to talk about. It was like, no, this
something about this just isn't working for me.
Not working.
This girl talking about her friend.
So
we don't watch the show.
I hope that
besides online dating, we mentioned microwave love that people want to go straight to commitment or want to know where this is going right away, and what other ways has it changed?
What about the basic dating? I remember when I was talking about it, I said, whatever happened to, when you see young girls or college girls or middle-aged girls, whatever, getting all dressed up in their heels, getting ready to go out on a date. Someone, picking them up in a real shiny car and they're getting ready to go somewhere. Instead of someone texting you or calling you up and go, you know what, I'll be there in 15 with a movie. What happened to that kind of dating?
Yeah, that
it ain't required no more.
Huh? It ain't required no more.
I think women messed that up.
I used to like getting dressed up, and
I think that's cultural thing too.
It is cultural.
Dressed up at all. I mean, I went to.
Well, you don't have to get dressed.
Some women are still getting that.
Okay, well, even just but like if you were going someone really nice, then you want to look kind of. I don't see it as much. I hardly see it at all. In fact.
When you said it's not required, so are you thinking that men nowadays
that women don't require it, or men don't want to?
They don't require it anymore, but some women do, and they get that.
Okay,
because a lot of times it's not required anymore. It's not required. She just want to hang out too. Let's just go hang out. Let's get a movie. Let's chill. I'm a little bit different. I like going to fancy places.
I know it's just fun, not all the time, but sometimes.
Man, but I also like staying in the crib.
Yeah, I mean, you want a comfortable place to,
Man, but I love, man.
Okay, so here's the other side of it that both have argued is that, so he takes you out on this nice date.
Yeah.
What does he get in return for that?
I just saw that today.
What do you mean?
Someone said
a nice date?
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, because
he's trying to get to know you and he's trying to impress you.
But can he not get to know you at Starbucks too?
That is what a lot of men feel. Like they're spending a lot of money on taking women out on dates.
The time. This isn't something every week.
When a lot of women say that, is they consider themselves to be the prize.
The prize is like it's mutual. You're getting to know each other. Yeah, well, you're getting to know each other.
And also how much you spend makes a difference to women.
This is one of the biggest ways dating has changed. I ain't got to do that now because before
you're right, they don't have to.
Before it would be you, and you might be the only one that I have had an opportunity to really sort of pour myself into. Yeah. But now it's literally there are plenty of fish in the sea.
So they just say, forget, I go on to the next one.
Right?
Well, I mean, we ain't got to do that no more.
Well, I date plural. So my expectations are not to be wined and dined because I know I'm going on another date.
Is so stupid.
I went on a date not long ago. He bought tickets to a concert ticket. We went to that. I got the next concert that we're going to, but we're not exclusive.
Okay.
So but if we're exclusive, then of course I would expect a shift on both of us.
That's what I would expect.
I wouldn't expect him to be out.
Let me stand up for our men, though.
Stand up for the men.
Let me stand up for the men. Men have realized. We have realized that we are the prize.
Yes. You are both. It's mutual.
But it wasn't like that before. We have realized that we are the prize. So
that's feminine energy. No,
I love it. Yes, Miss Wanda.
Going on a
jokes,
date.
People, jokes.
So, for example, if I say, you know what, that's me and you, I'm gonna take you to Foco de Chao. We gonna chill. She like, you know what, I want to order the shrimp tower, or the seafood tower. That's $100 by itself. And then I want to get a bottle of wine. I want to get a whole bottle of wine. That's $450 right there. And then I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm just gonna do the experience. That's $60 right there. Before I know it, I could spend a G.
Yeah.
Just so that you and I can hang out, and then you tell me, you know what? I don't know that I was feeling this tonight. And now me and I realize that, no, we're gonna go talk at Starbucks, and then we're gonna see if this goes any further. And then I might take you to Red Lobster. Then we're gonna see if this go any further. And then if we decide to date,
give us a 2 for $20.
I might take a TGI Friday. Then if we decide to date, now we might go have an experience. I'm telling you, me and I realize that I ain't shelling out that kind of cash no more. That's the new age way to think.
Well, and for me,
somebody say yes, my brother.
I am that person. I am a.
Let me see who said that.
I'm a Starbucks meet and greeter, and then after that, we may, if the energy is good, because honestly, I don't want to go on a date with somebody I don't like.
I don't want to.
I
don't spend his money.
Yeah. That's because you got 1,000 options now.
Right.
See?
Right.
Well, and I do think,
and I normally don't even make it to a point of, and I've shown up to Starbucks. I told you guys about the guy
and
who told me
like,
who told me that like I made him moist, and I was like,
you made him what?
Moist.
Like men don't get.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Who are you?
That's not a masculine word either.
Child. So I was just like, oh, you a whole freak. So
I gotta rethink
my
whole life. Like,
So one thing though, social media does make it easier to date as well, because I know now people can go right into someone's inbox and
especially how they meet them. Yeah.
Where back in the day it was you need to meet my father, come up to the door. I couldn't go out with you. I mean, and to meet people, like you said, you had to actually physically go places and do things. Now your phone can have you meeting people or finding out that they're kind of more interesting. You know them a little bit because of social. You interact with them, you feel you know them in some way, and so you skip the dating part and think you can go straight to, because we kind of know each other. I do think that happens sometimes. What are you shaking your head at?
Tucson's comment is so true.
What did he
but
say?
I can't even say it.
Wait,
well, let's start from the top. Okay. Raylan says the new technology have killed our new generation. No one knows how to communicate in person. Katie Lowe says hello. Raylan then says, yes, my brother, speak and walk on the lake and talk first. I put a pin on that lake thing because a lot of y'all be talking about walking on the lake. Ain't been to the lake. Two says in the transaction, the one with the most resources win. He's negotiating for the PUSSY. Y'all negotiating for an experience.
That's true, and that's always been the case though.
Which is why I'm very particular, like, about accepting.
Well, people say I'm wrong for that, but I do agree that I know that's what he's
a formal date.
True.
Yeah. But that's when you're one-on-one. That's not when you're just meeting each other. And I'm a late girl, so I could definitely go to the lake. Don't take me to Starbucks.
I love the lake.
I think a walk on the lake and talk is fun. It's very sweet.
I love the lake. Yeah.
You can take me to the lake. We can go through Chinatown. Have some good.
And you kind of see if you like each other, you know.
Listen, let me help y'all out. Take your lady on a date this Friday, Bronzeville trolley tour. It's free 99. Y'all can hop on and off the trolley. There's going to be free music. You can pack up your own little cooler drinks, but they normally have free drinks out there, free food sampling. The best 2 to 3 hour experience if you're just like
free.
Yeah, they
it's
do it
free,
once a month throughout the summer. Free.
See, that's why we call it and got our socialite.
Nice. See, I like that kind of outdoor
things
like
to do.
Right? That's nice.
Free that is a date. I'm gonna tell every guy that's your date night. Plan it once a month. Right. I only do dates once a month on Tuesdays at the Bronzeville trolley whenever it goes.
I took a guy on a date like that last year. I was like, well, I'm doing the trolley tour. He was so freaking impressed. Like,
oh, that's a good question. Do women take men out on dates?
I invite. If I can come up with a better idea. Right now, that's what I come against is that a lot of guys don't have. They'll say plan it or let's just. And I'm like, I don't like movies. I don't like.
You don't like
sitting
movies?
At dinner? No, because I can't talk. I'm a talker. I want to talk and shoot the. So I want to be somewhere where I can actually communicate.
I feel like you get to know them better when you are talking more than just sitting there watching a movie. That gives you something to talk about, though.
Like, now the movies is too intimate. That's like intimate. The chair go back. No touching my thigh.
That's my kind of date.
It's my kind of date too. Yes. But I'm negotiating something different.
But I'm gonna fall asleep, so I can't do it. It's every third Friday. See, Cynthia Bean hooking us up.
Friday.
Not only does she have the Steppers 411, she has the Bronzeville trolley.
Raylon.
That sounds
Raylon. You better preach, my brother.
She's a popular singer brown skin, short hair.
Oh, that's like 90% of our
and I can't
singers.
think of her.
Give me some more.
You better preach, my brother. This
Read it.
I'm so tired of women always saying what you got to bring to the table when they table empty. I told somebody before, if you ain't bringing nothing to the table, you at least better be on top of it.
When you say bringing something to the table, what? Oh,
you just caught that.
I know that was right away.
You ain't bringing nothing to the table. You better at least be on top of the table.
Now, some women will say, I'm screaming over that.
Hey.
This is IntellectualRadio.com, and we like to keep it PG here. We like to keep it PG. I mean, our dear super producer who created it likes us to keep it PG.
Yeah.
I don't know why he likes to take out
whatever.
Not today. The preacher did.
I'm a different kind of preacher. I give it to you real. Forget the other stuff. People got real issues with real problems. We need to have a real conversation.
I agree.
So then that brings up if she has to bring
something
to the table.
What do you mean to the table? Like,
but if she's bringing something to the table, then you can't be mad when she's operating in masculine energy.
That doesn't make you operate in masculine. Women of yesteryear, queens, brought things to the table.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
That don't mean you operate in masculine energy.
And that's what needs to be communicated to men, because men who, it's been my experience, let me just say that, who say that are literally talking about what she does for work and what she's financially.
See, that's what I'm thinking you're saying. I know they're not
looking at the other things that women bring to the table.
I don't know which one y'all talk.
I think you do hear men say that they don't cook. They don't.
It's a million other things men talking about bringing to the table. Like
what though?
You bring kindness to the table?
Absolutely, most women do.
Do you? No, I'm serious.
One of the things I look at.
Do you bring compassion to the table?
Absolutely, most women do.
My litmus test is if we're out to dinner, how you treat the wait staff.
You could tell.
No, my litmus test for you is how you treat the wait staff.
But
you know what I'm saying? Right.
I'm
watching you.
I'm
right.
watching how he interacts. I mean,
but he's speaking as a man.
He's speaking as a man. Yeah.
Do you bring good manners to the table? Because let me tell you, where I go out to eat and who I hang out with, they watching your manners. Do you bring good manners to the table? So if I pull out your chair, do you know the reciprocating act?
What is it?
What is it?
I'm not telling y'all.
You told us your cologne. No.
Right. Come on, help us out.
If a man pulls your chair out from the table and he scoots you all the way and he goes to sit down, grab his napkin, whip it out and hand it to him.
I never knew that.
Come on now, ladies.
No, I've never done that.
Grab his napkin. Boom.
Now, I know
where y'all going to eat? I'm going to Wendy's. There ain't no napkins to grab.
I'm going to do it.
If you open my car door, that I reach over and unlock yours.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my chair pulled out, though. I don't know many men still pulling out chairs.
There is a reciprocating act for every.
What is it for the door? Open the door for him.
So you reach over and you unlock.
And most women do that.
Now hold on. Now here's the general rule of thumb. If you got the button and you clicking it, you don't do that. If you don't, you reach over and unlock his door and push it open for him to say, "I got you, boo. I got you, daddy. I see you." You understand what I'm saying?
That works most of the time.
I see, but what you're showing him is this is going to be a reciprocity style relationship.
Exactly.
It's going to be reciprocating acts. Because if you don't, that kind of brother just gonna keep moving. So
I've often heard men say, "What do you all bring to the table?"
That's what I say. That
I
wonder
what are they talking about?
That is what we're talking about.
So Two said femininity is the best thing y'all can bring, but even that's where Cynthia says you got women that say they want a man that looks like Morris and Boris, and they look like Florida.
Oh no, she did.
Oh, Cynthia.
No, that's true. That is true. No, that's true.
Oh no, you did.
No, but Tucson says something that buckets the whole thing. Bring femininity, not just feminine energy, but femininity, sensualness, sexiness, seduction. If you brought that to the table, you could literally negotiate anything. But most women are.
Did y'all hear that?
If you brought sensualness, seduction, sexiness to the kingdoms have fallen because of that.
That's right.
So Raylan
The power women have and don't even know it.
Do say we can get together and write a book. Kingdoms has fallen because sensuality was brought to the table.
Raylan says love, respect, honesty,
and my paycheck
and my paycheck come to the table if she's worth it.
See?
Your paycheck?
He got the right idea. He got the right idea.
Women come.
Wait,
They
he got
all
the
here
right
go to the
idea.
paycheck.
Let me check out his profile page.
Right, you got women running the rail line.
Okay,
Let me be
profile
real.
pic.
Most men think this
Swiping
way.
left.
Most men think this. And dog, they checking out your page for real. I wish I could show it on. Most men think like this. But
Do they?
Yes.
Okay, I'm listening.
But it's dangerous to say it out loud.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
But this is how most men think. But they're coming up against non-masculine, non-feminine, non-sensuality, non-seductive energy. They're coming up against that. It is nothing. For a masculine male, for a man who understands his malehood.
I was about to say because
you said I had to categorize.
Like you trying to seduce me.
There is
you trying to get my money. You trying to get.
Yeah.
Listen to me very carefully. For a dude on his game, on his hustle, on his grind, who is understanding his manhood, there ain't nothing like a sensual, seductive, sweet woman. There ain't nothing like it. There ain't nothing like it. There is no energy on earth that can match it. None.
Did you hear that one?
There is no energy on earth.
I'm listening and it's making me think because I do know.
You see what Tucson said?
What did he say?
If women were really feminine, men couldn't deny y'all anything. It's the truth. And this is coming from Tucson, the G, who telling y'all, look, I'm this. I don't have this. If women were operating in feminine energy, you would not be denied anything.
And I will say, because I know I'll hear some backlash from dear friends that I have that some of the reasons why, and I do know it's by design that they make when it has been put in place for us to be pulled out of our feminine energy with so many things they have done with that when you're the I don't want to use this term because I know friends who use it, but I know it's when they have to be the mother and the father. And I take care of take care of the bills, and they feel like and then go to work and be the boss too, that they now sometimes are taken out of their feminine energy and don't know how to put that away when they at times.
Now we're getting into the psychology and the psychiatry of this thing. We don't have enough time to go through it but I'll suffice to say this. Women are definitely carrying weight meant to carry. That was not intended for you. And the only way to carry some of the weight that some of you are carrying is to operate both in masculine and feminine almost equally, some to the point where you have to put away the feminine energy and operate in masculine energy to run a household only. If you understood what masculine energy is designed to do, you would understand why women have to operate in that more so than not, especially the single moms. There's weight that you were never designed to carry. So that I totally understand. So for us, men and women, we have got to go back and step up into our rightful places.
We'll read them. And I think that makes
that is
point.
True.
Read the comments for the people who are not on Facebook.
I'm going to start from the
For the people who aren't on Facebook.
Ernest Tuckett says, what men want is a lot of what women want. They want to be with someone who has their back, who cares about them and their interests. Two says, it's not dangerous. America had made women men and vice versa. Ernest goes back and says, being argumentative will turn off any man and any woman. Being tough and guarded emotionally is equally turn off. Raylan says, I don't need no woman's money, but our money together can move mountains if we invest. And then Tucson, the Leo.
Oh my God, the Leo.
I
ain't gotta be a Leo. I'm a Leo.
Come on. Preach this word. Preach this word. The good doctor.
Remember the phrase, hoes winning. Hoes have a better understanding of femininity.
Ouch.
They use it.
They use it.
They
and
do.
they get what they writing songs about. You could have whatever you like.
I really do feel like women who are in relationships or trying to be relationships needs to somehow have part side chick mentality. and I'm only not
Straight up.
not meaning be a side chick, but the mentality side chicks sometimes use to get your man is the same thing you should maybe have yourself. And that is somewhat of a feminine energy, but I do feel like it's all gotten so convoluted that there are a lot of women that don't, I won't say a lot, I don't know whether there's a lot,
because most of the time they're not wiping up the side chick.
Who says who?
Sometimes
side chicks are winning nowadays.
I mean, to an extent, but you still have a lot that are not.
I'm not saying take all the qualities, because obviously the woman that's sleeping with another woman's man got some insecurity,
right,
some issues. I'm saying take the little things they do to get not be. I know they're not white, but keep your keep your core together. Keep your womanly, your morals and all of that. I'm not saying, because that to me they may have some other they have other issues. I'm not talking about take the issues. I'm talking about just take that one little that they have the dinner ready for you. You just listen to your wife complain about the bills, but they act like there's no care in the world about bills with me, baby. I got your sandwich waiting for you. They know how to make that peace. And you go, well, that's easy for you to say because I actually have to sit and worry about the bills. But sometimes I think we do need to put that all aside for the sake of a relationship. That yes, we're still gonna have the bills, but I'm still going to be that piece with the sandwich waiting for you in my negligee and act like nothing else matters but you today, Big Daddy type mentality. I'm not talking about none of the rest. I'm talking about acting like you are everything in this world.
But you have to be comfortable with you
in your skin
to do that.
You do.
And most people coming into relationships are coming with trauma and are not comfortable with
the
themselves.
Leos are all coming out here on the
Leo thing.
I mean, they all representing. Once they heard Leo, they posting dates.
Leo and I tease them about it all the time.
Are you a Leo?
No, I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, I'm a Leo.
Virgos are the best. Virgos are the best.
Virgos, okay.
Ernest says the one caution I give for what James is saying is this: your feminine energy or any other positive trait you bring into a relationship won't turn someone who was unworthy into someone worthy. Don't cast your pearls before swine.
Ooh,
I agree with
and
that.
that is a point. I think it's not the be all end all. Bringing the feminine energy is going to turn the swine into a pearl. So I get it. So that too. Sometimes we are throwing stuff on the wrong person.
I'm about to throw something out
throw it out.
He's going.
Go on. This intellectual radio. Throw it out there.
But this is life coach certified.
Ooh, I feel like I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, what is he
real
gonna
happy
say
when you say it?
Go on. Come on.
Men are the seed deliverers. Most women don't operate in their feminine energy because it's not safe to operate in their feminine energy because you're operating in her feminine energy.
Yes, you better.
Ooh, what time is it?
Say that again, though, so I can understand it. I need to hear things.
Oh,
say that again.
Oh my God.
Men are the seed deliverers. Women are the incubators, which means we give, you multiply it, and you give it right back to us. For a woman to operate in her feminine energy, she has to feel safe. And it's oftentimes not safe to operate in your feminine energy when the man is occupying that space. In love, we serve polarities. It's a polarity type of an issue. So masculine energy and feminine energy are the ones who have what's the word? You have bliss when masculine meets feminine. But oftentimes she's meeting you with masculine because you're meeting her with feminine. This is why we all need to read the book, The Way of the Superior Man, men and women, so that we understand what masculine energy really is and what feminine energy really is, so that she can rest in hers and you can rest in yours. Let me just say this, ladies.
Does he also have to feel secure to be in? Why is he operate? Does it work vice versa?
Now you about number one. He has to. So for men, because we are the seed deliverers, we must first understand what masculine energy is. And most of us don't. We got to understand what that is. Number one. Number two, we don't have the option of not feeling secure. We do not have the luxury of not feeling secure. We are the security providers. So if we don't bring security into the relationship, security does not exist.
And I think a lot of people will take that into housing, but that's security of even the relationship. And I think that's what has changed with dating in 2019 is that dating in 2019 is a plural activity and not so much a relationship. In a relationship, you can provide me the security of being feminine because I know it's only you and I.
Right.
And good dating, point. I know that I may give more or I may give less of myself because I'm seeing other people or I know you're seeing other people. I don't want to compete. And so I think that is right though? I think that's the way of 2019, whether it's right or wrong.
Some of that is the way of 2019. Listen, in 2019, people don't actually want nothing. They don't want to work. Just because to get to the stage of relationships that most people want, that say they want, there is a stage you must go through, and that stage is work. And most people run, head for the hills when it comes to work. If you've never heard me teach on anything else, let me tell you the 4 stages of relationships, of love, of marriage. There's a bunch of different ways that they categorize this. This is actually the 4 stages of business also. This is the same reason why people who want to be wealthy, who want to own businesses, can't own businesses. Because the first stage is the coming together stage. Everybody loves that. The second stage is the quote unquote falling in love. And I'm giving them different names. These are the Coach James version. The second stage is falling in love. Everybody wants that. The third stage, though, is disillusionment. This is where the picture you created of the person in your head does no longer match.
Don't match.
Does no longer match. That does not mean that the actual person is bad. That means the picture that you created in your head no longer matches. And what I tell my clients all the time, I can identify within 30 seconds if you're dating the man or the woman or you're dating yourself. Most people get into relationships and they date themselves. They never actually get to know the person that they're dating. He didn't do this and she didn't do that and she didn't do this. And I said, well, stop. Tell me about the person, the man or the woman. Tell me. Well, when she can't tell me about the human being that you're in front of. Is this person kind? Is this person authentic? Is this person genuine? Is this person loving? And let me like, well, I never looked at it like that. Because you're dating the person you created. You've heard me call it Build-A-Bear. You can't build a person like that. And so when disillusionment comes along, that's when people run. And so you hop from one ship to the next ship until you reach disillusionment. And then you hop to the next ship until you reach disillusionment. And you know why you keep doing that? Because the person you're running from is you. And the person you're running to is you. And until that paradigm shifts, you're going to keep hopping. I took an MBA course. It's called Organizational Leadership. The first chapter was forming, storming, then norming, then performing. They teach you this in business. When you come together, the storm, immediately after you just get settled, bringing it together, a storm arises. And it's designed to see who really wants this and who does not. This is the way it works.
Toussaint says, but if we are not going to reject the American paradigm, what happens? Because America forces Black men into capitulation, and our women support that to meet America's social standards. And Cynthia Bean said, I know when preacher I don't call him preacher. I'm calling you what Toussaint call you. When James speaks, I'm like, okay, let me hear that again. So
Raylan says he's a good catch. A great catch. I raised my last 4 kids by myself. 3 went to college. 1 graduated 3 years ago. 1 graduated in July, another in December, and all A student. That's my youngest daughter in high school. So I have a lot going on and not looking for any woman with her hand out. I'm a great catch.
Raylan, I love you, brother, but that makes you a good father.
I was gonna say
that does not necessarily make you a good catch. That makes you a
not
good
that you
father.
aren't, but...
and I don't know that you are or not. And I'm saying this just for the other brothers who might think that, because Raylan, you do sound like a good dude, because we agree on a lot of issues. But to the other men who might say that makes you a good that makes you a good father. Like same here. I got 3 kids. I'm raising, putting through. Y'all don't even want to go there. But do you? So we're getting to the place now where do you understand one another?
Do you understand yourself?
Do you understand yourself?
Because some things sound like you may not even, some people may not have a good grasp on who they are outside of being fathers and mothers, and like, who are you?
And now I'm going to say something Wanda's been saying to this panel for the last, I've been 2 years now. Relationships are mirrors. Period. What your mate is designed to do is reflect you to you. And if you recognize that the person you are looking at or having trouble with is you, then you can you could actually have a healthy relationship with almost anybody. Almost anybody. If you realize that the person you are relating to is most often you. The person you are your mate is reflecting is you. You could relate to anybody. I stand on it. And I'm going to tell you, there are other cultures who you think they only get married because of arranged marriages. They don't stay together. They're not happy. If you surveyed the cultures, and they have, and surveyed the women in those cultures, they will tell you, I'm with the love of my life. And the marriage was arranged. The marriage was arranged. And what happened was the two parties came to the table with the tools to work together.
Interesting. Two said
some comment.
No. Text message.
Life keeps presenting that disillusion until you master it.
Yes, until you master your disillusionment and actually put the illusion aside and get to know the person. Love the actual person. You're gonna fall right into life will present you the same lesson. I guarantee it.
I just want to go back to the days like my 3rd grade
when
boyfriend.
You was young, you're not a kid anymore.
You want to send that note.
I just saw his mama
heard
today,
the song.
and she used to pack me an extra lunch with his lunch.
Aww.
He wrote me a note. That was the longest standing relationship in life.
How long was it?
Yeah, Raylon, man, we should definitely talk offline. I feel you, brother. I feel you. I feel you, brother.
Yeah.
So Ernest said self-awareness is a key to relationships, especially emotional self-awareness. You'll never understand the other person or come to know them unless you're self-aware. And I do feel like that is
it's level 5 of the pyramid, self-actualization.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you're not a level 5 dater, stay away from people.
You should.
What's a level 5 dater? I don't even know what that means. So explain that for the level
Maslow's
people.
hierarchy of needs.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I totally agree. A lot of people step into the dating arena with all of the other necessities. They're unhappy with their employment. They're unhappy with their livelihood, their housing. They've not attained their goals in life, which would have been the 2nd level up. They don't have a sense of belonging. Before you can get to self-actualization, dude, I can't deal with that.
And so
here it is. Number 1 is your physiology, your basic needs: food, water, warmth, rest. A lot of people are getting into relationships and the
hobosexuals.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. The next one is safety, security. Am I safe? Am I? And these are basic needs. Number 2 is the psychological belonging. Do I have friends? Do I have intimate relationships? Number 3 is level 4 is self-esteem. Do I have prestige? Do I have my own feeling of accomplishment? And then number 5 is self-actualization. A lot of people think they are they have reached self-actualization, and they have not. They're still dealing with self-esteem.
So does it have to go on this pyramid?
Yes. It is this pyramid. And let me tell you something. When you're raising children, the pyramid is flipped upside down. The first thing you teach your kid is self-actualization. The second thing you teach a kid is self-esteem. The third Then you let them out of the house and teach them belonging, other intimate relationships, then safety, then ensure that they have food, water, warmth, rest. And then when you are raising a kid, and I'll say properly, for lack of a better word, and you build upon the pyramid, this pyramid is like underground. Then you put the other pyramid on top of this, then you have a whole person. But you have people coming into relationships that there's a new study out. It's called it's not acute, but it's called adverse childhood experiences. Look it up. They can predict early death based upon how many adverse childhood experiences you have had. They can predict how you will relate to other people based on how many adverse childhood experiences. I have my entire staff studying this. How you will relate to adverse childhood experiences. And those of us who think we don't have no trauma. I came from a 2-parent home. I had mom and dad. My dad was home every day. This is me. 2-parent home, father home every day. It's loving that. I have 4 out of the 10 on the adverse childhood experiences. 4.
You see that?
Oh yeah.
Adverse childhood experiencis. Okay, wait. So this is a test you can take yourself?
You can take the test yourself. Adverse childhood experiences.
I think I've taken that. We had to study that with work.
Oh, I wonder how many of those I've taken my own children through it. That's why I find it so hard to be a parent. I'm like, I need to sign them up just for therapy now because I don't know. Just go and get your therapy.
Here's your graduation gift.
I did the best I could. Here you go. Here's your therapy.
So here's and I can't show y'all online, but
so
4 or more. If a person has had 4 or more adverse childhood experiences that are not dealt with,
I think that's the key too.
3 times as likely to develop lung disease.
Oh dear.
11 times more likely to develop drug abuse. 14 times more likely to attempt suicide. And 4 times likely to have begun intercourse by the age of 15. 4 times more likely to be depressed. 2 times more likely to develop liver disease. Listen, this is real. This is real. And I didn't mean to take the conversation so deep, but
that's interesting. Tucson said, question: can love exist in third world countries? Because most of those people don't have any of those material needs.
Yes, and it probably exists more there.
Because that's all I get.
Because that's what all you got is love. You don't.
No distractions.
You don't have
no
anything,
social media.
Yeah, you don't. You're aspiring to live your day with the person as opposed to aspiring to.
You're aspiring to live. That is aspiration is held by the other person, and you aspire to live together. It makes sense. Very interesting. Tucson said, we Black, so imagine what we rank on that test.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Right. Yeah, imagine. Again, I'm telling you, I was like, man, I'll take the test. Ain't no problem. I have 4. I was like,
wow.
I need to go see somebody.
And what is what a lot of people with insurance need to look on the back of those cards and see where it has mental. They have a number. They have it. They have it set aside for you, and don't see anything wrong with it because we have to take away that stigma of getting, and I don't even want to say help. It's just help making you grow. The stigma of growing, doing better for yourself than you did before. I think we will talk about eating right and doing this. This is part of keeping our mind right. Just should be a regular part of living, and take advantage of those things that your insurance offers for you. So John said in the Black community, that is more commonplace. What a lot of the things that
adverse childhood experiences by design. By design. It is more commonplace in the Black community by design. And until we recognize that, we're going to keep fighting the wrong battle. This is commonplace by design.
But what's the battle? What is the battle then?
The real battle is to take back our culture, to take back our community, our way. We have been colonized.
Not based on their standards of what they say, taking it back means.
Exactly. This is the reason. If you ever saw Black Panther. This is the reason Wakanda did not want anybody over there.
They lead them colonizers where they were.
You are a colonizer.
That's what they are, colonizers.
Don't come over here and we're not going to go mess with you.
Right. Don't come up. Right. And we're going to keep our vibranium over here.
Right.
The second Wakanda gave up the vibranium, look, we created a weapon. Wakanda used it to power cities. They used it to create a weapon.
Yep.
I can't believe I'm preaching on Black Panther. I'm done.
Yes, you are.
The doors of the church are now open.
And I'm watching Black Panther today.
So, John said, true love exists more in countries that do not live as artificially as we do here in the U.S., which Toussaint says, hence the answer is spiritual in regards to my third world country question. And he said, right, preacher, all of our failures, even in relationships, are by design. And so one beautiful way, and John said culture is the key word. And getting back to, and maybe we need some history lessons on our culture, because I don't think a lot of people even know what that looks like anymore. I don't know if a lot. I hate to keep using that term.
Man.
But I know my culture to kind of be what my parents kind of taught me, or what I've learned in school. And do I know the true nature of where we should be and what we should aspire to get back to?
Yeah, that's the pseudo culture. If you knew the true African culture, the first thing we would do is change the way we treat women first. And women would change the way they esteemed men. Because in the African culture, now again, I grew up in African culture. People think, and that's because westernized television makes people think that women are subservient in Africa. Child, please. Women are like strong, like queens in Africa. You don't tell a woman what to do.
Well, that's because all
however, she will rightfully render respect. And he rightfully renders respect. My mother, may she rest in peace, and my dad, may he rest in peace. My father treated my mother like she was Queen Nefertiti. And it wasn't just my father and mother. All the African men treated their women like that. All of them. And all of the African women treated their men like, when the music came on, man, to see them go at it. And you know, man, let me stop. Boy, if we understood the true African culture that they are hiding from us, a lot of the paradigms in our communities will shift immediately, which is why it's been hidden from us.
Yep. Interesting. You've been tuned into He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com, and we've had a lot of our friends on Facebook chiming in and being part co-hosts. We always appreciate that. Toussaint, our virtual Vibraniumist community. And look, maybe we should view the movie and look at it differently and see it in a different I said. Raylan said need prayer back in the schools. But how do you all feel that would make a difference?
No. All else
I don't.
We need to pray in school.
I'm the preacher. I feel like we need to pray at home.
Yeah.
If you don't bring prayer back to school, bring it back to the house, and then we'd be all right.
That sense of community within your home and your block and your people.
And culturalization is real. It's all about what you put and instill into your household that's going to present itself in the streets.
Toussaint said most Black folk do not understand what it means to be Black, especially in America. African culture and Black American culture are different cultures, though, preacher. You're
true.
A different tribe. It's like being
Igbo and Hausa. However,
I think
there are some extreme commonalities. And I
think that's part of the agenda has been to make us look at the African culture as not being our culture because we are Black, but it's close enough. And I'd rather us lean on that than to not, and to go through the world trying to make it up, because that's kind of where we are right now, just trying to make it up as we go along.
Because it doesn't feel right. You can feel in your bones that something ain't right about what I'm trying to attempt here. Something don't feel right.
Yep.
Something don't feel right.
It's
Something's missing.
It's like making the potato salad. Whoever made it, something just don't taste right.
It's missing something.
Something
missing.
Grandma made it. You
right.
followed her recipe to the T, but she knew just that pinch to make it complete, and that's where we're missing that pinch.
Yeah, and we're
that
in
makes
search
it
of it
complete.
on a daily basis.
And we're more in search now than any other time before.
Yeah.
I think in the 70s they had
They
it
were in
kind of
search
weaned
then, yeah.
out,
And then
but now we're back to where, and it's a good feeling.
And there are African
Segregation.
countries that'll give us dual citizenship, like Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana is like
Ghana
come back
is,
home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're going to
enough
be a
about
hot
Africa
spot.
to go live there
Oh,
by
I would
myself.
get dual citizenship there.
I would need to really do some homework.
It's going to be a tourist
I
spot. Check it
encourage-
out.
I encourage
Well,
every
the
black
colonizers
person.
are already on it.
Oh, yeah,
right.
because of
They're
course they
buying
are.
up,
Yeah, they've been over there.
Yeah,
They're
so
loving it.
before you know it, you're gonna be like, wait a minute.
I encourage every black person to study African culture. You can study African culture, and then it'll break down amongst tribes. Because my parents were from 2 different tribes. However, the African culture has strong
Similarities,
commonalities.
It
The
does.
foundations are the same.
Tucson says, and that denies our own culture, and we have one. Not knocking Africa, but they follow our lead, not the other way around.
They don't
That's kind of
follow
my
our lead.
point.
Africa follows
Africa
who
don't
lead?
follow our lead. I don't think that's true.
Well, I didn't say we didn't have a culture. I said that we have a culture, but to say that we can't look at the African culture as kind of our guiding path, our foundation, is a big misstep. It's closer than us, the way we've made it up, the way we're going along, but we come from a foundation from Africa.
You have to. Let's be clear. They brought us here from Africa, which means the culture you had was from Africa.
Yep.
They brought you here from Africa.
Y'all know I'm silly, y'all. So I'm thinking of Boys in the Hood. Y'all African booty scratchers. All y'all. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Oh, yeah.
James, how can they reach you if they want to get some more nuggets of wisdom from James Borshade or your workout
Once he's
plan?
revived.
Or whatever.
You
Want to get a hold of you,
you can
and then
reach me.
Cynthia Bean wants to get a hold of you to get her one free
Cynthia,
session.
you can reach me at jamesborshade.com or jamesb@circleurban.org. Phone number is 708-462-2280. That's 708-462-2280. The workout plan is walk 5 miles a day.
Walk 5 miles a day, you do?
We got exhausted from that already.
Yeah, I try to get that done before I go to work. Walk 5 miles,
miles a
and
day.
eat differently. Yeah, I was extremely overweight, and my doctor started saying words like diabetes and all of that, and I was like, I was like, okay, say no more. I'll be back.
5 miles. Takes about an hour, doesn't it?
About an hour. Yeah.
Okay, well, he gave it to us. And Dot, how can they reach you?
I'm on Facebook as Nemia, and I'm on Instagram as Kirkland_.
Are you? I bet you're the only Nemia. Are you or no?
My mom stole my name on Instagram, so I can't give my name as because she didn't know what she was doing. So I'm normally
she thought it was like her password, and now she's like,
right.
I'm gonna call myself Nemia.
Right. They have like 50, my mom has legit 6 different Facebook accounts. So when she went to Instagram, she did it too and locked my name. So I'm not Nemia anymore, which is good. So
Crooklyn_girl, is it?
Stuff. Yeah. Crooklyn_girl.
And Janice.
I can be reached on social media, Facebook under Janice Oda. And I also have a show coming on in less than 2 hours at 6 p.m., The Voices of Change. So stay tuned on Intellectual Radio.
Yes.
Yes, I know that voice, right?
Intellectual Radio.
I swear. Woo! She's the voice of change. You got to check her out, like she said, in a couple hours. Come back to IntellectualRadio.com and then come back next Sunday at 2 p.m. for He Said, She Said. Join our Facebook group. I'm Wanda B on Facebook, Instagram. He Said, She Said with Wanda B. Like us, join us, join our group. We love, come have some conversation with us. Keep scrolling if you don't like it and chime in if you do. And I'll see you next Sunday, same place, same time on IntellectualRadio.com.